Welcome back everyone to my low-level playthrough of Chrono Trigger on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode I stopped here at this save point, and I'm going to show off the Rumble, the rock enemy you can use to get a lot of tech points off of. So we're going to have Alia, the Berserker accessory. That'll increase her hit rate, and she auto-attacks, so she'll attack a little bit faster. For the other character in our party, we're going to give them the hit ring. That will help increase their hit percentage. I have Frog on the Berserker there, because he has pretty decent hit percentage as is. The Rubble monsters are basically kind of like your metal slimes, I guess, in a sense, where they have really good rewards, but it's often hard to beat them because they have really good evasion, and you can't use any techniques on them. One of the advantages of double techniques is they don't miss. So this basically blocks all your techniques, so you can't use any double techniques. We just have to finish them off normally. So Frog and Alia are a little bit faster than normal now because they have their Berserker on. They have a little bit better hit rate. The Rebels have 515 hit points, so basically you have to hit them 3 times to finish them off. But if you don't defeat them in a certain amount of time, they will run away. But if you do defeat them, you get 100 tech points, 100 gold, and a mid-ether. Now this is the only Rebel that respawns. There's a few other Rebels. I'm going to go fight them now. And then I will go back and, just like I said, off screen, getting most of my characters learning their techniques. I'm not going to learn everyone's technique, because, you know, there's still other dungeons to go, and I'll just learn them naturally. But yeah, the Rebels are a good enemy, not because, as you saw, they don't do anything. They'll never attack you for damage. So it doesn't matter that our characters are low level. These fights too are also pretty decent. I'm just running away from them, but later on I'll be actually fighting them because they give decent tech points as well. I just wanted to show off these, what we call it, the Rebels. So we have one up here in the corner that we missed. And we'll get that one down there. And on the next screen, where the save point was, off to the left, there's another Rebel there. The Bantam Imps, if you haven't done yet, you want to charm Aloe Blade for Chrono off of them. On the second to last screen of this dungeon, there's a new enemy that you can get, Man-Eater. You can get a new sword for Frog. Let's see if we defeat this guy here. This was done a few days ago, and we did the other half yesterday. Combined them today to put the voiceover on them, so I don't remember which ones I defeated or not. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you miss these ones that don't respawn, because there's that one that always respawns. All you have to do basically is fight it, go back to the save point, save your game, reset, start again, and it'll be there again. So yeah, see, you have a certain amount of turns, and it runs away, and you don't get anything. There's a few other enemies later on that give decent tech points as well, in basically the final dungeon. But like these guys, they have really good evasion. Mess up the capture card. Sometimes it just glitches out for whatever reason. But look at it's not glitching out on like an important section. So we're just fighting the Rebel here. I just wanted to show these guys off. Missing everything. It's like, how are you missing this? Like, big rock. Like, I can see the metal slime, sometimes you get that message saying, like, the attack failed and did no damage. You know, because they're metal, they're hard. You might not be able to cut through them with your sword like in Dragon Warrior, but I'm actually physically missing that rock. So, not good. Alrighty. Speaking of missing things, I missed the power tab in this cave, the lower right corner. But since I defeated the mud imp and the two beasts, the red beast and the blue beast, those normal beasts won't respawn. So it's just a simple matter, just going back down there and grabbing. Alright, so now let's head on up the mountain. Now the reason why we're heading up there is because the Guru of Life is apparently imprisoned on the top of this mountain. Queen Zeal, basically, she has that mana machine in the Zeal Palace, and that's the thing that's extracting energy from Lavos to power the civilization. They're building a palace under the ocean, to basically in the ocean, but under the surface, that is closer to where Lavos is, and then they're eventually going to move the mana machine down there to draw even more power off of Lavos. Well, the gurus, Life, Reason, and Time, basically thought, it's probably not a really good idea. We don't really even know what we're dealing with Lavos. Probably shouldn't do that. So she got angry at the gurus and basically punished them all. And one of them is the Guru of Life, who has been imprisoned here on Mount Woe. So yeah, Shala came to visit the Oathbound people, basically told them all that. That's that little brief lesson that I just gave you. And begged us to go save the Guru of Life. I guess maybe she figures that she needs more allies, Shala. She can't define her mother on her own. Let's get some allies. We're gonna get all our allies. Most of their techs after this. Like I said, a lot of grinding, so I'll just be doing that off screen. Took a day or two to finish off. But I got most of the characters, at least up to their level 6 techniques. Chrono, because he can't leave the party. He and Aelia, I kept her in for the most part because she's probably our best character right now. Her and Chrono got their level 7 technique. Each character has 8 techniques total. And I uncovered quite a bit of dual techniques, because in unlocking all those singular techniques, I of course allowed some dual techniques to be uncovered. Haven't really worked on the triple techs yet. But most of the triple techs you don't get until you get, most of the higher end techniques anyway. We have one triple technique currently, the triple raid, because that one's pretty easy to get. It just has to have Chrono and Frog have to know X Strike, which they learn from their first 2 abilities. Frog, Slope Cut, Chrono, Cyclone, and then I think it's Robo's 4th ability, Robo Tackle. So he gets that pretty early, so that's usually going to be your first technique that you get, first triple technique you get. If you're doing a normal playthrough of the game, like usually you have that one by the time you fight Magus. Magus is so much easier when you actually have levels behind you. Actually, the game is getting a lot easier once we get these techniques behind us and some better weaponry. That's the only problem with Aelia. Aelia attacks with her fists, and they only scale. There's actually only 2 scales that. And she has a regular fist, then I think she gets a stone fist at level 74, and then at level 99 she gets the iron fist. That's the one that each time she gets a fist increase, it increases her critical rate as well. But since we're not going to be gaining levels, Aelia will eventually fall behind in terms of just attack power. You can remedy that a little bit with, power tabs. But we don't get an end supply of them until basically the last dungeon in the game. We can start charming them off with one respawning monster. So as our other characters get better weaponry, they're going to start surpassing Aelia. She does just have some good techniques, though. Her final tech is called Triple Kick. She kicks an enemy 3 times. She'll get a really good technique, Beast Toss, a dual tech with Robo, as soon as Robo learns his Uzi Punch, which is the technique I'm working on him with now. I basically got him to a point. There's a level down there that I did off screen. But yeah, I want to get that Uzi Punch. It's a really good, it's basically like Robo's Rocket Punch, but he hits multiple times. So it's a real good damage dealer for bosses. We want to have that for the upcoming boss. Although I did mention the upcoming boss is basically a joke with the elemental males. So we'll just have red male on Aelia and the red vest on Robo, and they'll be able to absorb most of the boss's attacks. And the boss basically rotates. He uses like a shadow attack, and then 2 fire attacks. And so the fire attacks will heal Robo and Aelia with their red vest, and the shadow technique will do enough damage to kill them. But it's still nice to have extra techniques to speed up the battle. Impenetrable defense, but if you never do any damage to the boss, you're not going to win. So you got to do some damage sometime. In a little bit, probably maybe in like 10 episodes or so, there's actually a hack, a little side story of this game called Prophet's Guile. It details kind of what the Prophet does during this time, a little side thing. And one of the dungeons in that is actually going through Mount Wohir as the Prophet. Actually, you get to imprison the Guru of Life. That's going to be a little side project that I take on. It's a short game, maybe about an hour and a half at the most. So maybe like 5 or 6 episodes to complete it. But obviously I don't want to complete it until a certain section in this game, because it will have spoilers. It basically is detailing a lot of what's happening in Zeal behind our party's back. Get a little more. Now it's like I said, it's a fan game, so it's not canon, but it's still a pretty interesting little diversion. Get a little background on some of these characters. There's a lot of these characters here in Zeal, kind of are important in the sequel to this game, Chrono Cross. Well, mainly Shala is the big one. And so they decided to give her a little bit more depth, because she doesn't really have too much depth here. We also learn more about the gurus as well. So people would just like kind of add an extra canon, a little bit more interesting things about the characters. So Chrono Cross is a real different game. This one deals with, you know, Chrono Trigger deals with time travel. Chrono Cross deals with like alternate dimensions. Basically, in that game, your main hero like dies in one dimension, but he's alive in the other, and you jump between the two dimensions. So he's like important to the timeline. And so like when he died, there was like a dimensional split. I think one of the problems with that game that a lot of people have is, unlike Chrono Trigger here, it just has 6 characters, and you get really attached to them. They're really well fleshed out. In Chrono Cross, I think you have 44 or 45 characters. It's in the 40s, and most of them just have one little side story, and that's it. And then they're just background. So unfortunately I forgot to take the Berserker off of Aelia, so I'm going to basically run from this battle. But this is the enemy they want to charm the Pearl Edge from, and that's a new sword for Frog. It's obsoleted fairly quickly because in the next dungeon, like on the second or third screen, it's a well-hidden sword. You kind of got to go through this false wall to get to it. But we'll get a better sword for Frog, but it's nice to be able to get this one a little early. Let's put the Charm Top on Aelia so we can charm that Pearl Edge off from those man-eaters there. And we've got another bubble. Man-eaters, though, not really worth it to fight. As you can see, they cast that Confusion spell on you, and that, like Confusion, all the other games, it basically makes your character uncontrollable, and they'll actually sometimes target fellow party members, which is really, really dangerous, especially in the next battle, because they're going to be accompanied by those gargoyles, which can take your character down to 1 hit point. So we just want to get into this battle, steal that Pearl Edge, and then get out of town. Yeah, we got those males that protect against elemental attacks, but we don't really have items that will protect against status effects yet. Now, if we would have done that Green Dream side quest, you could get some helmets to protect against certain statuses. Like I said, it was a little bit tougher than I expected, so I was like, I'll just come back and do it later once I have like a bunch of techniques unlocked. Life so much more easier with extra techniques and better equipment and all. So not too many enemies have status effects, but as you can see, when they start using them, yeah, they're a pain. Actually, it stinks though. Usually, like once an enemy starts becoming a problem, or status affecting enemies coming to be a problem, usually what ends up happening is like right after they become a really big issue, they tend to be rendered obsolete, because then the game will give you equipment that'll negate those status effects. Like Final Fantasy 1, the Ice Cave is such a pain because so many of the enemies there have instant death attacks, and you have nothing to protect against death. But as soon as you finish the Ice Cave, you get the floater, you can get the airship, and you can fly to Gaia, a town, and buy pro rings, which protect against instant death. So the Ice Cave, which is so hard the first time you go through it, basically becomes a joke once you get the right equipment. It's similar with this game too. There's a lot of games with Square where you just have to endure one terrible dungeon with status effects, and then they throw you a little bit of a present and stuff that actually prevents statuses. So let's save our game here, and then we will change some equipment up a little bit here, and to prepare, because we have one more screen to go before we fight the boss. So let's prepare for that boss here, and we'll come back to here and take out that boss in the next episode and rescue the Guru of Life. There's a frog's new pearl edge there. I'll take it. See you in the next episode. Bye.